Hi, I'm Tom, and this is our mud pit. On Rancho San Miguel, the Chumash boys were the brick makers, and they would have used a mud pit just like this one. And if you grew up in the Ventura County and survived the 4th grade, you probably remember having your hands and feet in this mud pit during your interpretive outreach program on your field trips. What we need to get started, because I'm going to show you how to make a mud brick from your backyard or your home or from your classroom. And all you need to get started is a little bit of dirt and water mixed together to make mud. Now, an Adobe brick means mud brick in Spanish. And then of course there's other special ingredients that you add to it. Some of the secret ingredients are, wait for it, cow manure. Gross. Well, we're going to skip the poop today, but I am going to show you how to make an Adobe brick like they would have back then. And they would have used more of a clay soil and then also added some of the other ingredients like straw, sand, and hay. And they're called binders because it binds the brick together. If you ever made a mud pie when you were young and you gave it to mom and dad, they put it on the counter and then it would dry and it would crack and it would fall apart. That's because it had none of those binders holding it together. So let me show you. First, you grab some mud. You put it into a form like this one. Now you could use anything for a form. Maybe mom's Tupperware, maybe a pan, maybe even ice cube trays if you want to make a little mini Adobe house. So you add some mud and then you could start adding some of those binders, some of those ingredients. Maybe a sprinkle of some sand, get a little hay in there, a dash of salt, because everything's better with a little dash of salt, right? Well, then we need more mud. So let's keep filling it up. Keep putting more mud in there and make sure you get it really mixed up because we want our binders to get in there as well to hold that brick together. So maybe as we go, we'll add a little bit more hay, a little bit more sand. That looks pretty good. Now let's fill it up with mud all the way to the top. And once you get it in there to the top, make it nice and smooth and flat like a square brick. This one's looking pretty good. All right, once we get it nice and smoothed out, we could lift this form out of the way. And voila, an Adobe brick. When it's wet like this, it could weigh up to 45 pounds. And once it dries, it's gonna be more about 25 pounds. And how would they dry them? Well, they would make hundreds of bricks at a time. They would lay them out on the ground, and then when they would let the sun dry them, it could take almost up to 30 days just for a brick to dry. Someone would have to make sure that they flipped them and turned them over every other day just to make sure that they were drying out evenly. The Chumash workers knew to use the sun as a natural resource. It took about 18,000 of these bricks just to build our Adobe house. And when they built the second story, Doña Teodora was in charge of the construction, and it took that almost 5 years. And she was a pioneer ahead of her time. Well, we just need this one to dry in the sun, and then we'll have an Adobe brick.